right, it's starting to get a little cold here in Austin. So today I'm going to show you guys how I winterize my plants that allows me to then grow throughout the winter season. So you'll see here, I've got a few towels blanketed over my garden bed. But first, let me show you guys what I do first that allows me to grow even more vegetation than just what's in this garden bed. So the first thing I like to do when it's the winter season is plant a lot of my plants inside pots, because then that gives me ability to transfer these in between the outside and the inside based off the temperature. Here in Austin, it doesn't get cold that often, but when it does, it gets down to freezing temperatures and can really singe some of the leaves you see here. And you can even see the cilantro is starting to bolt due to it. But look at this, I've got some basil here that is looking pretty dang strong given how cold it's been outside. So yeah, I can basically then manipulate the environment that these plants are in that then allows them to grow a lot longer and a lot stronger. So I highly recommend growing plants in pots during the winter season because it just gives you a lot more versatility. Before I show you guys what's under my garden bed, I really want to talk to you guys about hydroponics. And as you guys seen from a lot of my previous videos, I use hydroponics actually a lot. And I'm honestly pretty much a rookie when it comes to hydroponics, but I've been working pretty dang hard at getting a little more familiar with the techniques. So that's kind of my second option that I use to grow during the winter season, is because then I can grow inside under a grow light and in a controlled environment. So as I perfect that, I may start shifting to more of my gardening to be inside, so I don't have to deal with a lot of the transferring between inside and outside and covering my plants as it gets frozen, or especially when I go out and go traveling. And yeah, let's see how the beets are looking after I covered them up. All right, here's the moment of truth. Let's see how they're looking. Not half bad, actually. They're looking pretty dang strong. Yeah, so you'll see here, I like to use these larger containers to kind of create a canopy with the towels. It seems to work out great. You can use sticks and things like that, but sometimes those kind of wiggle and break, and you don't want the sheet just coming down on your plants. Then it can cause them to crumble. And then here I've even using a percolator that we use for camping. If you guys know what a percolator is, comment down in the comment section below and let me know how often you use yours. So when you saw me uncover the beets, you'll see that I used 2 towels. I like to use 2 towels just for the extra insulation, because the idea is basically you're building a canopy and keeping the heat trapped inside. And so having a couple extra layers will lead to more insulation. And the dirt actually produces heat because there's actually organisms in there and it's kind of producing heat, especially if you have a lot of compost in there. So by trapping it in, the compost in the soil actually releases heat up into the air and then gets trapped in this canopy. I was actually watching a video the other day, and I'll link this in the comments, but this guy's growing an orchard in Utah because he's got so many wood chips and compost in the ground. So there'll actually be so much heat being produced by those stacks of wood chips. And he said like 5 feet of wood chips were covering his land, that it would then produce enough heat to keep these trees alive. And he was literally growing like citrus fruit in the middle of Utah mountains in the wintertime. He had this huge greenhouse and inside of it was just naturally producing enough heat. So yeah, like I said, I'll link that video down in the description below. It's a must watch. Now you guys know some of my strategies to grow throughout the winter season here in Texas. Let's take a peek at my beets and see how they're doing. Before I show you guys the beets in more detail, I just wanted to say I always do this after the sun has come up, because there's no need to have these beets exposed if there's no sunlight. So I pretty much wait until the sun's out, then I uncover them, let them get their sunlight, and then as soon as the sun goes away, I cover them back up. It allows them to get the maximum amount of sunlight, but also stay as warm as possible. So yeah, just try doing that, and then your beets are gonna be successful. So yeah, let's take a look at the beets and see how they're doing. I mean, look at this beet, absolutely thriving. Hopefully only a couple more weeks, and then we're gonna have some fresh beets for a good beet and arugula salad. I'm gonna start trying to do some arugula hydroponics starting tomorrow. So hopefully we can time these out perfectly that I'll have a arugula beet salad with maybe a little bit of goat cheese. So yeah, hit subscribe if you guys want to see that hydroponic setup in next week's video. But yeah, I mean, here's another healthy beet coming in real strong. There's a little bit of Let me see if I can show you guys this. There's a little bit of damage on the top of the leaves, but I think that's due to the cold weather, and they were just uncovered. So hopefully after a couple hours, they'll bounce back a little bit. That's what I have noticed with covering your plants, is sometimes the pest also kind of come in here and start eating at your plant. So just be wary of that, and maybe a couple sprays of neem oil to help prevent those pests from totally ruining your harvest. But yeah, as you guys can see here, the beet plants are coming in really, really strong, and can't be more proud. So yeah, those are the couple strategies I use to grow any vegetable throughout the winter season here in Texas. So if you guys like this video, please hit subscribe, and as always, happy growing.